Everyone expected the Lakers' experiment with LeBron and Luka to be cinematic, but no one thought it would spiral into chaos. After the February 24th matchup against the Orlando Magic, reports suggest things didn't just get heated, they completely blew up. Allegedly, LeBron and Luka clashed in the locker room, and it got so intense that teammates had to step in and physically separate them before things went too far, and that's only part of the story. In this breakdown, we're diving into everything: what may have triggered the confrontation, what was reportedly said behind closed doors, and the bigger pattern of LeBron's past tensions with fellow superstars. Because once you connect the dots, it starts to look less like coincidence and more like a trend. And just wait until you hear the reactions from Shaq and Chuck. It almost feels unreal that we're witnessing what could be one of the most high-stakes ego clashes in basketball history. If you think the Lakers' loss to Orlando on February 24th was just another regular season slip, you're missing the bigger picture. That game wasn't just a loss. It was a full 48-minute display of what can go wrong when two dominant personalities share the same spotlight. From the opening tip, something felt off. But everything reached a breaking point in the final 6.7 seconds. The Lakers were down 110-109, crowd was electric, and Luka Doncic, who had been carrying the offense with 22 points and 15 assists, came off a perfect screen, wide open at the three-point line. It was the kind of shot he makes in his sleep, and then everything fell apart. Instead of letting Luka take control in that moment, LeBron called for the ball on the perimeter. Luka hesitated just for a split second, but in the NBA, that's all it takes. With the pressure of the moment and the presence of LeBron, he forced a pass he clearly wasn't comfortable making.
Luka with 5 seconds. Luka, LeBron for the win!
And then came the moment that sealed it. LeBron launched a wild turnaround fadeaway completely off balance, and it slammed into the front rim so hard it nearly hit someone courtside. The buzzer sounded right after. Game over. The Lakers lost to a team they were expected to beat comfortably. And LeBron didn't stick around. He walked straight off the court without saying a word to anyone. But here's the part that really stands out. The detail most people overlooked while arguing about the final possession online. Earlier in the fourth quarter, with the Lakers down by 1, LeBron stepped to the free throw line for 2 shots. He knocked down the first, but the second? It hit the back iron and bounced out. If that shot goes in, the game is tied, and that chaotic final sequence probably never even happens. Instead, after the game, LeBron faced the media and shifted the focus onto Luka. When asked about the final play, he kept a straight face and pointed elsewhere, leaving a lot of people questioning not just the decision in the moment, but the accountability afterward.
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously you have to ask Luka what he saw on that, but I thought he had a good...
He really put the spotlight on his own teammate in front of everyone. There was no mention of the missed free throw, no acknowledgement of the 5 turnovers, just a narrative that Luka hesitated, and that's what cost them the game. And that's what makes it hit even harder. Because when Luka stepped up to the mic, he went the complete opposite direction. He owned everything. No excuses, no deflection, just a straight-up admission that he needed to be better, and that the loss was on him. That contrast says a lot. One player shifting the focus, the other absorbing the blame. And in moments like that, people don't just remember the final shot. They remember who stood tall afterward and who didn't.
I just saw him open. I didn't want to lose the ball. I knew we were going to have timeouts. But like I said, should have picked up the ball. Should have attacked. I thought I was going to get Luka, but that's on me.
And just when it seemed like the drama would stay between the lines, it spilled into something much uglier. Luka didn't just brush those comments off and head home. After finishing his interview, where he took the blame and handled things the right way, he was already dressed, bag over his shoulder, ready to leave. On the outside, he looked calm, but inside, it clearly hadn't sat right. The hallway had that familiar post-game silence, guys packing up, heads down, nobody really talking after a 1-point loss. Then everything shifted. A teammate pulled him aside and showed him the clip. LeBron James's quote was already making the rounds. The message was clear. Luka hesitated. Luka had the look. Luka didn't finish the play. And just like that, the tone changed. Luka stopped cold. This is a guy who had just carried the team all night, and now he's watching his own teammate, the supposed leader, shift the narrative onto him. His expression tightened. No outburst, no scene, just that icy locked-in stare people recognize from EuroLeague days. Then he turned around and started walking back. Not rushing, not hesitating, just focused. Teammates could feel it instantly. A couple tried to step in. Luka, chill, but it was already too late. He headed straight toward the media area, where LeBron was still sitting, headphones on, scrolling like everything was under control. He didn't even see it coming. Luka walked right up to him. What he said wasn't loud, but it cut through everything. "Don't ever put my name in your mouth to the media again." That's when it snapped. LeBron jumped up so fast his headphones hit the floor. Suddenly, it didn't look like a post-game setting anymore. It looked like things were about to get seriously out of hand. There was shoving, grabbing, voices raised, chairs getting knocked aside. It escalated in seconds. Teammates rushed in, Austin Reeves and Marcus Smart among them, trying to separate the two before it went any further. Security wasn't far behind. But what really shocked people wasn't just the confrontation, it was that even then, it didn't cool off. LeBron reportedly kept going, firing back that Luka needed to grow up and learn how to close games. And if you're wondering how things got this personal, insiders suggest this tension didn't start here. There's been friction building moments earlier in the season, underlying ego clashes, even whispers that the relationship off camera has been distant at best. As Marcus Smart once hinted on a podcast, it's less of a friendship and more of a working relationship. At that point, it's not just about one play or one game anymore, it's something deeper.
LeBron and Luka don't really talk as much.
Which, in NBA terms, basically means we coexist because we have to, not because we want to. By the time the February 27th game rolled around, even that thin layer of professionalism looked gone. That was the night the clip went viral. Los Angeles Lakers players walking into the arena, LeBron James and Luka Doncic early 20 feet apart. No eye contact, no handshake, no acknowledgement. Just two stars moving in the same building like strangers. At that point, it didn't look like tension. It looked like something that had been simmering for a while and finally reached the surface. And honestly, that's the part that raises real concern. When your two franchise players won't even acknowledge each other publicly, it's not just awkward, it starts to affect everything. Chemistry, trust, execution. That's when a season can quietly slip from contender to unraveling. Now, about the stats. This is where things need a bit more caution. Lineups can tell interesting stories, but they can also be misleading if you zoom in too narrowly. A plus 11.9 rating for a Luka Austin Reeves lineup without LeBron sounds impressive, but those numbers often come from smaller sample sizes or specific matchups. On the flip side, LeBron's impact over full rotations, defensive attention, and playmaking gravity doesn't always show up cleanly in one stat. So the idea that one player is sabotaging everything doesn't really hold up under deeper analysis. What is fair to say is this: the fit looks off. The rhythm isn't consistent, and when roles aren't clearly defined, especially between high-usage stars, everything starts to feel clunky. It's less about one guy dragging the team down, and more about a system that hasn't figured itself out. And when that uncertainty mixes with visible tension off the court, that's when it becomes a real problem, not just statistically, but structurally.
Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves play together, they're just not a good team.
That drop sounds brutal, but it doesn't automatically mean LeBron James is the problem.
When Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic play together, when it's just the two of them out there, the Lakers are an excellent team. When all three of them play out there, they're not.
He's been clogging the paint, getting in Luka's way, and effectively freezing out Reeves, who's now mostly stuck as a spot-up shooter, while LeBron runs the offense as the leader. It's gotten to the point where even former Lakers legends are fed up and pushing back against the hype once and for all. Byron Scott, a three-time champion and a key figure from the Showtime Lakers era, reportedly went off, even suggesting that LeBron should pack his bags and move on.
I think this should be his last year here.
Not in the NBA, just here.
No, just here.
Okay.
You know, I really.
You don't got to go home, but you got to go.
Yeah. Can you imagine a franchise icon telling the team's supposed leader to get out of the building? Still, Byron Scott is basically saying out loud what a lot of people are only hinting at. Some Lakers greats are clearly frustrated with how things are unfolding and feel the team's direction isn't where it should be. It's turned into a broader conversation about LeBron's role at this stage of his career and whether the balance between leadership, brand influence, and on-court direction is actually helping the Lakers move forward. That kind of debate naturally gets heated when expectations are this high. And it's not just former Lakers weighing in either. Charles Barkley has also been critical on ESPN, repeatedly questioning whether this era with LeBron in Los Angeles is still the right fit for the franchise's long-term goals.
One thing I'm sure of, this is last year with the Lakers. You're not going to play with the Lakers next year.
The way this is unfolding has big consequences for the team dynamic. You've got a young superstar like Luka Doncic, who should be settling into his prime years, but instead he's being pulled into a system that often feels built around extending a veteran's control of the game. Whenever Luka tries to take over, LeBron is still heavily involved in directing the offense, which at times makes the flow look uneven and harder to sustain. What stands out most is how this creates a stagnant rhythm on the court, less about clear hierarchy and more about overlapping roles that don't always complement each other. But the interesting part is that this isn't just fan debate anymore. Even former legends and analysts are openly questioning what they're seeing. Shaquille O'Neal, for example, has raised concerns in media appearances, pointing out that leadership in high-pressure moments is defined by accountability, taking responsibility when it matters most, not just when things are going smoothly. His argument wasn't personal, but about expectations for someone considered the face of a franchise. Charles Barkley has also been very vocal on Inside the NBA, criticizing the Lakers' inconsistency and the way pressure situations are handled. His comments focus more on frustration with the team's direction as a whole, rather than any single player, but they add to the growing noise around how this era in Los Angeles is being evaluated. Overall, the conversation isn't just about individual performances anymore. It's about whether the structure around the team's biggest stars is actually helping them function at their highest level.
LeBron James' comments were blank.
Inappropriate, whiny, all the above.
The tension isn't just visible in the locker room or on social media. It's become part of the larger narrative surrounding the modern NBA. When former legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley publicly criticize today's stars, it reflects how sharply opinions are divided about leadership, accountability, and team dynamics at the highest level. The Lakers, more than any franchise in basketball, have always been defined by superstar pairings. But not all eras are the same. The Shaq-Kobe era is often referenced because of its contrast to all-time talents who clashed constantly behind the scenes, but still managed to produce championship success. Their disagreements were intense and even physical at times. Yet once the games began, the focus shifted entirely to winning. The conflict stayed internal, and the results spoke for themselves: 3 straight titles. That difference is often what people point to when comparing past dynasties with today's environment. In earlier eras, friction between stars rarely became a running public storyline during the season. Today, every moment is amplified. Post-game interviews, analyst breakdowns, and online reactions all contribute to shaping the narrative in real time. Even historical examples like Magic Johnson's early years show that player power dynamics aren't new. Magic famously pushed against Paul Westhead's system in 1981, preferring a faster, more creative style of play. That conflict, however, ultimately led to a transformation that helped define the Showtime Lakers rather than a prolonged public breakdown. What's changed most in the modern era is the speed and scale of scrutiny. Every performance is instantly analyzed, and every quote becomes part of a larger story about leadership and responsibility. That creates a situation where team chemistry is constantly being interpreted through a media lens, whether accurate or not. As a result, every superstar partnership today is judged not only on wins and losses, but on how well roles, expectations, and leadership styles align under extreme pressure. And in a franchise like the Lakers, where history and expectations are always present, that pressure is even more amplified. At its core, the discussion isn't just about individual players. It's about whether modern NBA super teams can still find the balance that past championship teams achieved, where talent, ego, and leadership ultimately work together when it mattered most.